Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream and welcome to all your latest Chelsea transfer news. Big up to everybody that is already locked in. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Subscribe if you are new around here. All of that good stuff, chat. And of course, in the early hours of the morning, big up to everyone that stayed up to watch that game. Chelsea made it to the last 16 of the Club World Cup with a 3-0 win against ES Tunis. Liam Delap getting his first goal for the club with Tyreek George and, of course, Tosin getting the other goals. And we set up a last 16 tie against Benfica. And the good news keeps on coming, chat, because Kepa has completed his £5 million move to Arsenal. Another one shipped off to the North London retirement home. We've got the latest on the pursuit of Jamie Gittens. Apparently, the agreement is going to be worth £55 million, which seems mad. So Kepa's joined Arsenal. Apparently, Gittens is going to cost £55 million. The Club World Cup is opening up, and there is loads and loads of other stuff to dive into, chat. So make sure you're smashing the likes, make sure you're subscribing. And before we get this show on the road, people, make sure you check out Jerseys FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Make sure you check it out, guys. 20% off using code BLUEBROTHER. Make sure you're looking fresh in that new Chelsea home kit for the upcoming season. Names, numbers, patches, whatever you want on the back. Do you want Liam Delap 9? Do you want Cole Palmer 10? Whatever you want, guys. Good quality, affordable prices. Jerseys FC Soccer Shop. Link in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. That's enough about that. Let's get into the chat and let's see what some of you lot are saying before we get going. I think we'll get a Gittens. Here we go this week or next week, probably. Yep, Kepa's gone. 55 million for Gittens. Well, that's what Sky Germany are saying. Let's wait and see how much of it, will be in add-ons and whatnot. That's going to be a key factor here. Yes, big up, brother. Appreciate the support. Yes, big up, bro. Overpay for a player nobody's thinking about, but we can't spend 20 mil. Yeah, bro, I hear you. Yes, big up, brother, big up. Up the Chelsea. Yes, big up, bro. Anyone we have signed yet? Yeah, we signed the lap, bro. Yeah, sorry I was a few minutes late, people. It is what it is. No, not for sure. Not for sure. That isn't a certainty. There have been some rumours saying that Liverpool might be looking at him, but I don't think that is the case. Yes, big up, brother. Big up. Hope you're doing well. Yes, welcome. Yes, people, you know exactly what to do. Add-ons, I hope so, bro. Yeah, it actually did. In a mad sort of way, we've actually benefited from losing to Flamengo because it stuck us on the opposite side of the draw. And realistically, it's Benfica in the last 16, Botafogo or Palmeiras in the last 8, if we get there. And then providing results go as you would expect, you're looking at the possibility of Juventus or Borussia Dortmund in the semi-finals. So, yeah, it's opening up. But, again, we got to keep our feet on the ground. There's a long way to go. Yes, big up, brother. Yeah, don't forget about it. Club World Cup tax. They didn't want to pay that, but they're going to end up spending way more than they were going to do beforehand. Strange. Yes, big up, bro. All good, bro. All good. Hope you're well. Yes, up the Chelsea, brother. Yes, big up, bro. Enzo Fernandez was great. Yeah, he was. I think we will face PSG in the final and beat them. Well, I hope so, brother. But let's rein it in. But let's start with the news of an outgoing, because there's not been many outgoings, chat. There haven't been many outgoings, but Kepa's move to Arsenal is finally done. We had, could have been 3 weeks ago now. Could have been towards the start of the month. Could have even been at the back end of last month, chat. We had the news that Arsenal were exploring a move for Kepa. And now we finally have the here we go. The £5 million clause has been activated. Oh, I think I'm about to sneeze then. Oh, am I going to sneeze? No, I'm not going to sneeze. Body mugging me right off. The deal done for the Spanish goalkeeper to join as backup for David Raya. £5 million clause activated. All documents are now sealed. Good riddance as far as I'm concerned. Good riddance. it's another one to the North London retirement home to go along with Petr Cech, Raheem Sterling, Willian, David Luiz. I must be missing other ones. Yossi Benayoun. Who else have we got in the building? That's 5. There's definitely more. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's more. But the most important thing, I was never fussed, chat, about... I was never fussed about the transfer fee for Kepa. It was about getting them. I think it was on 150 or 175. It was about getting those wages off the books. That was crucial, chat. Getting those wages off the books, 150, 175 a week off the books. That's what we needed to be done. Gallas as well. Yeah, that's exactly it, young Cuenca. Gallas as well is on that list. Havertz. I mean, to be fair, Jorginho wasn't... Yeah, he shipped off to the retirement home, but he did good things for us. Yep. Sunderland interested in Bolker. Yeah. I know, bro. Showing more ambition than us in the goalkeeper market. Yep, up the Gooners. There they are. What if he wins a trophy with them? Yeah, but the thing is, bro, he'll be a number 2 goalkeeper, so he barely would have contributed. That's the thing. He barely would have contributed. This is a good deal for us. This is a surprise deal. We were always going to find someone to pay that £5 million clause. That was never going to be an issue. The only issue was going to be whether Kepa would agree terms, because wherever he's going, there's going to have to have been a severe pay cut. But now that his wages are off the books, that's good. But there are a lot higher earners who we need to get off those books. And that is obviously Ben Chilwell and not Kai Havertz, sorry, Ben Chilwell and Raheem Sterling. We need to get those guys off the books wages-wise ASAP. ASAP. They need to be off. Put that towards Osimhen money and I can live with the other shenanigans. Bro, we're not getting Osimhen. We need to chill on that. We better get Fofana in before the knockout stage, else I will snap spaghetti in front of Maresca's face. Monaco brothers to Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, if they're looking for another centre-back, we've got 2. Yeah. We have almost made 50, 30, 40 million from the Club World Cup so far. I think, honestly, we'll end up making 60, maybe even 70 million from the Club World Cup. But yeah, that is Kepa to Arsenal done. And that is now 1 down out of many who need to leave the football club this summer. We're talking about it being slow. Chat, for outgoings. Hopefully, this is now the start. Of the floodgates opening and more players heading towards the exit. Door. That would be ideal. Won't be surprised if they come for Chile once we get Hato. Yeah, maybe. Bro, as I always say, the dream is free. It's free to dream. But yeah, reality is unfortunately going to hit differently. Reality is going to hit differently, chat. But that is where we are. Goodbye, Kepa. Yep. Yeah, bro, for sure. I think we could be looking at close to that. I mean, that's 5 mil in the bank already. Obviously, you know, that's only a small drop in the ocean, but it is 5 more in the bag. Where do I think Nkunku will go? I've got no idea, to be honest. I honestly really don't know. And it's a strange one, Nkunku, because a player that talented, it's hard to know really where he's going to end up. I'm not really seeing, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not really seeing an obvious home for him. I'm not seeing an obvious home for him, guys. I mean, you say maybe Bayern Munich. I don't know. Yes. Here we go, chat. We found it. There it is. Gallas, David Luiz, Willian, Jorginho, Lassana Diarra, Yossi Benayoun, Havertz, Sterling, Cech, and now Kepa. Mental. Look how many players we've sold to Arsenal, chat, over the years. All who had the best of their careers at Chelsea and then went to the retirement home and won nothing. Bro, but guys, chat, how good was Lassana Diarra, by the way? What a baller. What a baller Lassana Diarra was. I mean, Yossi Benayoun wasn't so good at Chelsea. I think he was part of the Europa League winning squad. It depends what you're basing working out on. You'd probably say that Havertz, out of all of them, has done the best, but obviously hasn't won anything, chat. Hasn't won anything. So, yeah, you look at those, agent check, Sterling, shite. Havertz has probably done the best, but not amazing. Benayoun, I don't think, did much. Jorginho was okay there, but ultimately none of these guys went there and won anything. Willian was horrendous. So, yeah, there we go. Kepa to Arsenal. And £5 million in the bank for Chelsea. It's a shame, really, because we could have used that £5 million to pay for Mike Maignan. Maybe we'll go back with that extra £5 million and use it on Mike Maignan and act like a serious football club, chat, in the transfer market. That would be ideal. That would be ideal, wouldn't it? It really would be ideal if we could do that. Luis done the best at Chelsea over Havertz. Luis was better than Havertz at Chelsea, yeah. David Luiz and Petr Cech won the FA Cup. Did they win the FA Cup at Arsenal, Luiz and Cech? Oh, I forget. I forget. It's been so long since Arsenal lifted a trophy. I forget what these guys were doing there. But yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. They have they? Fair enough. Still, small time. It's small time business. Small time business. Yes, big up, bro. Big up. Anyway, so that's the latest on Kepa. So the good news kept rolling from our last 16 clash last night, getting lucky with the draw with Benfica, and then Kepa confirmed to Arsenal. So the good news keeps coming. But the good news was kind of over after that chat because chat, it's transpired. It looks like we could be paying serious dough for Jamie Gittens. Now, Sky in Germany are reporting, chat. Chelsea are currently making the most effort to sign Jamie Gittens. New talks with Dortmund have taken place. The clubs are working towards an agreement worth 65 million euros. Yes, you've heard that right. 65 million euros. Verbal agreement, we know, on a 7-year contract till 2032. That's done. Max Erbel, he's a Bayern director guy. Still has Gittens high on the list, but Bayern have only discussed him internally again and with his agents, the same as they did for Barcola. There has been no negotiations or meetings with Dortmund so far. It's now up to Chelsea to submit a suitable offer. One thing is for certain, Gittens will leave Dortmund. Now, this is a significant increase, by the way, chat, on what we bid last time. The last offer before the Club World Cup deadline was £42 million. I think we bid 50 million euros. That's now going up another 15 million euros, potentially. Now, I'm not saying that this is definitely going to be the final price, but what we need to look at, guys, and what's going to be really important here, what's going to be important here, chat, is how much of any potential fee is made up of add-ons and what percentage of those add-ons are going to be easily attainable and what percent of those add-ons are going to relate to maybe winning the Premier League, winning the Champions League. Maybe, they would be slightly less attainable. That's going to be the important thing here. But once again, what this does highlight, guys, is that I do kind of hate to say it. It once again exposes us as shite negotiators. It is standard practice, chat, for the directors. It appears to be standard practice for us to just get absolutely rinsed and robbed blind in every negotiation we seem to do. I mean, in what market and at what point, guys, is 65 million euros for Gittens deemed fair, and then someone like Ekitike, who could probably get for 80 million euros, is overpaying and not worth it? It's a bit of a strange one, but I think it's common conception, chat, that we do get rinsed in most negotiations. We are not good negotiators. When was the last time we negotiated a decent deal for ourselves, chat, that wasn't a gamble or wasn't a release clause? Yeah, bro, I hear it. I absolutely hear it, and it is a strange one, chap. It is a strange one. There's absolutely no denying it. There's absolutely no denying it. It is a strange one. I just don't get why we get fleeced. I don't get it why we get fleeced, or we just get rinsed in negotiations. We're just shit at negotiating. You talk about Chelsea, like, oh, we Club World Cup tax. We didn't want to pay Club World Cup tax. Yet you're potentially going to spend £13 million more after the Club World Cup. So you don't even get the benefit of having him for the Club World Cup. Do you get what I'm saying, chat? Well, yeah, potentially could be. Potentially if all add-ons are met. But again, as I said, ultimately, chat, sometimes, as I said, if you really want the player as a club, then you sometimes do have to pay more. It's just frustrating to see us get rinsed in negotiations when we could have probably ended up paying less for Gittens. But yeah, I don't know. Look, I expect this to get done. I don't see Bayern coming in. Well, Ben Jacobs seemed to think that a total package of around £47 million could be enough. But again, we're not sure. Sky Germany saying 55 million. So there's about £5 or £6 million discrepancy with what Ben Jacobs is reporting for a potential price and with what Sky in Germany are reporting for a total price. Bro, we need a left winger. We are desperate for a left winger. The market's not good for the left wing. And that's where I do have a bit of sympathy with the directors and whatnot, chat, is that the left wing market is dead. We're desperate for left wingers. Gittens fits the bill profile-wise and should, in theory, be an improvement on the output that Jadon Sancho gave us last year. It's just when you're spending potentially that much money, it's you would maybe want something a bit more. It certainly appears that way, bro. It certainly appears that way. Well, we don't know for certain if Bayern are willing to pay that price. That was one report from a publication called Kicker in Germany. I'm sure they would look at doing something similar. And yeah, ultimately, as I said before, if you want the player, then maybe if you that badly want the player and you rate him that highly and you think they're going to make that much of a difference, then yeah, you do need to pay. You might have to pay more than you wanted to originally. Yeah, no, we do. We do. We need a left winger more than we need Gyökeres. That's some of the other options on the market, but it's not my money. Yeah, bro, I hear it. We just got to get this shit done. We just got to get this shit done and bring the player in because we are desperate for a left winger. But again, Bayern have got him on the list, but they've not held. They haven't really had. They've had no conversations with Dortmund, so I think Bayern are aware that he's probably going to go to Chelsea. So look, the Bayern interest is there, but it's not reached the stage where they're looking at it and they're thinking, yeah, we're going to enter conversations with Dortmund. They haven't entered conversations with Borussia Dortmund just yet. And yeah, as Chris says here, it's a possibility that with Bayern's interest, that could have potentially moved the price up a little bit as well. We just don't know. We just don't know for certain. We just don't know for certain. But I mean, look, as far as Gittens is concerned, I'm expecting a here we go for Gittens, the Ornstein Bomber. There, here we go for Gittens. I'm expecting that we should get that this week, really. Although what I would probably say, chat, is that maybe it's more likely to come once Dortmund are out of the Club World Cup. Maybe once Dortmund have been eliminated from the Club World Cup, then it's more likely to come. But I would expect in the next week, chat, this deal should be done. I reckon the next week it will be done. And the big thing I'm going to be looking out for is how much of this fee is up front and how much of this fee is going to be in add-ons, chat. That's going to be the big thing. No, I don't think he has, because he's not really played much, because he doesn't suit the system under Niko Kovac, what he's looking to do now. So yeah, he's been on the bench, I think, for their 2 games so far. So let's wait and see. No one thinks 50 million's a bargain for Gittens. It's not a bargain. But you know, if you want a player, then sometimes you have to pay more than what you originally wanted to. You're not always going to do a deal for a price that suits you. Now, Chelsea might not want to pay that price, but they might be able to get a situation where a significant chunk of that price is going to end up being in add-ons. That's what we can hope for. Look, to be honest, bro, look, the bare minimum for Gittens, right, is to exceed Sancho's output from last season, and then we build it from there. Being sub most of the season, yes. First half of the season he was playing, but yeah, certainly second half. But this is it. Really, it's coincided with when Niko Kovac. It coincided with when Niko Kovac took over that Gittens kind of slipped down the pecking order. Yeah, Alanga, 45 million bid rejected. Why can't we call Madrid and inquire about Rodrigo again? Because, Natalie, that would insinuate that we're a serious club and we do big things in the transfer market. And unfortunately, that's not us. So that is why that's not happening. That's why that's not happening. So yeah, that's the latest of Gittens. Meetings have taken place between Chelsea and Dortmund in the US. Expectation the deal gets done. I think we're talking a matter of days now. Reportedly, 65 million euros. Problem is, bro, it's not even about upgrading. We need another body because we've literally got 3 wingers. We've got George, Madueke, and Neto. You know, you need one more just to have the option on the left. So yeah, look, we need a left winger. Everyone knows we need a left winger. Am I excited about the Gittens signing? Not massively. Could it turn out to be good? I hope it does. I hope I'm wrong. But it's just not a signing that hugely excites me. It's not a signing that hugely excites me. That is the latest on the future of Jamie Gittens and Chelsea's pursuit. Well, I tell you, talking of opportunistic and being smart, chat. Talking of opportunistic and being smart, we should be going to Lyon to ask about Malik Fofana. Because, and yes, this is subject to appeal, but there are some bargains to be had, chat, at Lyon. Because Olympique Lyonnais have been relegated to Ligue 2. The club has the possibility to appeal the decision, so they've gone down the DNCG, which is like a governing body in French football, have upheld the decision to relegate Lyon for financial irregularities. They've not been able to prove that they've raised enough money, and so, subject to an appeal, Lyon have been relegated to the second tier of French football, and I also think they might have been dumped out of the Europa League. But anyway, what this is indicating, chat, is there is going to be a fire sale. There will be a fire sale. And Chelsea like, if anything, Chelsea like to be opportunistic. If you're looking at Malik Fofana and you like Malik Fofana, you have got to be thinking, let's get on the blower to Lyon right now, ring up JT, John Texter, and be like, look, you lot are in the shit. You've gone down. You need money. We'll give you 20 million euros for Malik Fofana or something like that. That's what we've got to be looking at. That's what we have to be looking at. Surely. I mean, yeah, look, there's a chance that Fofana more than likely will end up going to Liverpool if they're serious in their interest. I fully hear that. But unfortunately, in Lyon's position, beggars can't be choosers. Now, they're not going to sell him for absolutely nothing. But if Lyon wanted 50 million euros for Malik Fofana, which they did before this decision was taken, then they're not going to be able to they won't get 50 million euros now, given the situation. So I honestly, chat, I think we should be looking at we should just be picking up the blower and putting in a cheeky offer for Fofana. Whether he wants to come to Chelsea or not remains to be seen, but clearly he's a target, clearly he's of interest, and he's absolutely, chat, in my opinion, someone that we should be looking at. He's someone we should be looking at, chat. So why wouldn't we go in and try and do that sort of a deal? It would make sense. It would make sense. I'd rather pay 50 for Fofana than for Gittens. Sure, I hear you on that. But there's a chance, chat, where we could get two left wingers for about 70 million quid, maybe 80 million. So yeah, I mean, obviously, yes, as someone said in the chat, every team's directors are going to be looking at that and thinking, right, what player can we get on the cheap here? Lyon are going to be struggling to keep a lot of their better players. So we're gonna wait and see. We're gonna wait and see. But yeah, that is, for me, that's got to be a no-brainer. Talking about opportunities, chat. That's a massive opportunity. Yeah, look, it hasn't got. It's not like, oh my god, wow, edge of the seat stuff. But yeah, it's not bad, chat. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Oh, look, I hear you, but I think you've also got to realise as well is that Tunis just played a filthy low block. It was like a Conference League game. They made it so difficult to break them down. Now, I'm not saying that Chelsea were amazing in that first half or inspiring and it was quite dull. We were too narrow, but we kept probing away. We got the breakthrough, and the quality told. When you play against teams who are going to sit deep, even if you're considerably the better side, it is tough to break them down. It is difficult to break them down. I don't know. I've not looked. Look, Rodrigo's a top-class player. There's no doubt about it. You know, there's more to Rodrigo than just looking at his GNA. Now, of course, output is important, but look at what he does in big games in the Champions League. You know, look at what he does for big games in the Champions League. It's massive, chat. It is massive. And look, that would be the sort of statement signing that we should be looking to make. You know, we should be looking to make. But yeah, look, we're not going to make that. Depending on how many minutes he gets in the Club World Cup for Real Madrid, I suspect he still stays. But, you know, you just never know in football. You just never know in football. You just never know, chat. You just never know. And it's going to be an interesting one. It is going to be an interesting one to see how it develops. Now, I don't know how much major developments we're going to get between now and the end of the month. I think you're going to start hearing a lot more transfer news once the financial year's ended. So the financial year ends June 30th for football clubs. And then I think after that, you might see a lot. You might see a lot more. You might see a lot more after that, chat. It's possible. It is possible that you might see a bit more after that, but let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Anyway, let's move away from that, chat, because we've got some news about goalkeepers. One piece of news at the moment, just come out now. Chelsea have asked for information on Marc-Andre ter Stegen's situation this summer. He's open to leaving Barcelona, but no final decision yet. Let's see what this is saying, chat. Because we were getting reports saying that Chelsea, as it stands, are not looking to sign a goalkeeper. Let's see what this says. So, Chelsea remain active in the goalkeeper market, with Barcelona shotstopper Marc-Andre ter Stegen one name on their radar. A source with a close understanding of ter Stegen's situation has informed Court Offside that the Blues have returned to ask for information about ter Stegen, confirming that the German goalkeeper is on their list of options. Obviously, as we know, ter Stegen's future at Barcelona is in doubt. They spent 25 million euros on Juan Garcia as a new goalkeeper, while Wojciech Szczesny is expected to stay as a backup option. This likely means ter Stegen might have to look elsewhere for first-team opportunities, and Chelsea could be an option for him as they remain keen to sign a new goalkeeper. Apparently, Man United have made similar checks on the 30... No. Ter Stegen's 33. No, there's no way. Ter Stegen's 33, chat. Ter Stegen's 33. That's made... No. That can't be right. That can't be right, chat. Ter Stegen is 33. Fuck, I thought he was well younger than that. I thought he was much younger than that, chat. No, he's 33. He was 33. Fair. Fuck, I didn't realise he was that age. So we know that the Chelsea try to sign Maignan. Ter Stegen isn't necessarily their main priority, but they made contact to ask about his situation earlier in the summer and have done so again. Our source confirmed that no final decision would come imminently, but that Chelsea would continue to monitor the situation in the coming weeks. Now, I know ter Stegen is under contract at Barcelona for a few more years. He did sign a new contract fairly recently, but it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear, chat. It's pretty clear that ter Stegen is going to leave Barca, because you don't spend that money on Juan Garcia as a number 2. You don't spend that money on Juan Garcia as a number 2, chat. No, behave yourself, Asa. Behave yourself. Yeah, you don't spend that money at Barcelona as a number 2. So I think it's pretty clear that ter Stegen could be in the mud here. Ter Stegen could be in the mud here. But yeah, and Szczesny's there as well. Szczesny will be second or third choice, but I can't see. Very rarely do you have a team that has 2 top keepers competing for 1 and 2. You just don't see it. You just don't see it. And I cannot see that being the case with Barcelona either. I suspect ter Stegen is on his way out this summer. Where he's going, I've got no idea. I've got no idea where he's going, chat. But ultimately, as we've been told by multiple reliable sources, ter Stegen, I think, is on his way out. And also, as we've been informed, Maignan won't be joining Chelsea this summer as things stand, chat. Will not be joining Chelsea this summer as things stand. So, yeah, make of that what you will. I mean, the goalkeeping stuff's confusing because we all know, bro, Jackson was playing 3D chess. Get the red card, lose, then Chelsea go to the other side of the draw, which is easier to make the final, and then come back in time for the quarterfinal and fire Chelsea into the semis and maybe fire us into the final. All is forgiven and we win the Club World Cup. Jackson's playing 3D chess chat. Don't you forget that. Jackson playing 3D chess chat. That was all part of the plan. Lose against Flamengo, get the red card, do your ban, come back, smash a couple goals in, fire us into the last four and into the final, and then all is forgiven. It's all part of the grand plan, chat. All part of the grand plan. Put some respect on his name. Genius at work here. Genius at work. Genius at work. But yeah, there was that. Bro, I'd sign Magic Mike. I would sign Magic Mike for sure. Ter Stegen's been off a long-term injury as well. You don't know what he's going to be like when he comes back. So yeah, you obviously go for Magic Mike. You definitely go for Magic Mike. But also, there's been other goalkeeping news as well. Let me just find it, chat. There's been other goalkeeping news, and this relates back to last summer. I just thought I'd cover it. This does relate back to last summer, and Wolves goalkeeper Jose Sarr nearly joined Chelsea last summer, according to Liam Keane at the Express and Star. Now, Liam Keane is pretty good. This is quite a good source for Wolves news. They're pretty spot on with Wolves news. We'll get to that in a sec. Kobel or Costa? Probably go Costa. If Palmeiras meet, can Esteval play versus Chelsea? I think so, because he's not officially joined the club yet. He's joining the club after the Club World Cup. He's not on loan at Palmeiras. So he is still a Palmeiras player until this competition finishes. So therefore, unless they've reached an agreement, or I haven't heard, I would imagine that if Chelsea do face Palmeiras in the last 8, then I suspect that Esteval will actually be able to play. Yes, big up, my bro. Hope you're doing well. I watched it back this morning because, 2 a.m. unfortunately is too late for me. I'd work at 6. It would have been a madness. I would have been fucked. So, yeah, big respect to the guys that do that on a regular basis. Fair play. But yeah, if it was a huge game, if it was a big game, quarterfinal, semi-final, then yeah, obviously I would have stayed up and watched it. But it's Tunis, not a great game. So yeah, it is what it is. Chat, over 200 in the building. Make sure you keep smashing the like button. We are 92 likes. Run the likes up. Subscribed if you are new round here. We greatly appreciate it. Road to 20k. Keep smashing the subscribe button and keep smashing up the likes. We're 7 away from 100. Let's get this rocking towards 150, chat. Smash up the likes. I mean, look, Jorgensen can stay and fight for the number 1. That's fine. Jorgensen can stay and fight for number 1. No issues there. Yeah, bro, I hear it. I stayed up and got gym. Nah, fair play, brother. Fair play. I've also been to the gym today. Set my alarm off for the sleep. Yeah, bro, it was. It did feel like one of them Conference League games, and that's what it was like. But do you know what? You can only play what's in front of you. We'll discuss the Club World Cup shortly, chat. Did you see the result before rewatching? Or nah, bro, it's impossible not to see the result because I've got like a wake up and like all these group chats in a WhatsApp like just on my phone, and yeah, it was impossible to remove the result. I don't care about seeing the result for this game. If it was a massive game, then maybe I would have abstained from it. Well, there were reports saying that Slanina could actually be the third choice goalkeeper next season. Bro, I'm pretty sure Diogo Costa is first choice at Porto, no? Or has he been dropped to a different choice now? Yeah, bro, I think so. I think so. Lost respect for me. Fair enough. Fair enough. How will I sleep tonight? Yeah, we'll get to this, bro. We'll get to this. Oh yeah, it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. Yeah, bro, I hear it. Big respect to all fans all over the world. It's yeah, that's a tough slog. That is a tough slog. There's no denying it, chat. That is yeah, that is difficult. That is very, very difficult. But yeah, anyway, let's get into this. Let's see what this article was saying. Obviously, a George Mendes client, because as we referred to the other day, chat, the Chelsea transfer policy, George Mendes clients, Brighton, Man City Academy, release clauses. So, where are we? Yeah, basically, that's kind of it. So, there wasn't really anything major there. But yeah, so Wolves goalkeeper Jose Sarr nearly joined Chelsea last summer. I'm kind of glad that he didn't, because this is a guy who is not very good at all distribution rise and is not very good at all with the ball at his feet. Really, really not ideal, chap. Really not ideal if we're being brutally honest here. Really not ideal. I'm glad this didn't happen. Yes, big up, Brian. Big up, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen. Is he still better than Sanchez? Probably. But chat, we need to realise that bar is so low. That bar is so low. So we got to be looking to do a bit better. We've got to be looking to do a bit better than that. We've got to be looking to do a bit better than that. We have to. So yeah, there we go. Now, bro, I know it's not every deal. But it feels like the majority of the business is that sort of checklist. That's kind of what it feels like. Anyway, let's move away from that, because there is some news on Nicholas Jackson and his future, chat, before we do obviously work our way into the Club World Cup. Let's find it. Where's this tweet? Right, let me just bring this up now, chat. Bear with me. Okay, so here we go. Right, Chelsea maintain their price for Nicholas Jackson. So that's they want more than 51 million. When Chelsea called for Ekitike, the answer was 100 million euros. I'm not saying Jackson is the same, but Chelsea would want important money. Impossible for Italian clubs at current conditions. Chelsea won't sit at the table for 40 million. And nor should we, chat. Nor should they, chat. We should not be sitting at the table for 40 million for Nicholas Jackson. Jackson, I get the feeling, right, that Jackson doesn't want to leave anyway. I don't think he wants to leave. And what's funny is, right, I don't think we get any of this news, chat. Well, maybe we get it later in the summer, but I don't think we get any of this news, by the way, if he doesn't get sent off against Flamengo. I don't think any of that news appears. None of it. I don't think any of it appears. And that's the way that the game works, unfortunately, with the media, chat. But if he doesn't get a red card, no red card, no news. That's how we're looking at this, chat. No red card, no news. And Jackson, for me, if you're looking at the market these days, if someone like Joao Pedro is going for around 60 million, Jackson, you've got to be looking at the same 55, 60 million quid. That, for me, if you've got 60 million for Nicholas Jackson, 55 to 60, I would say that is a fair offer. You spent 32 million a couple of years ago. He's improved. He can bring a lot. 55, 60 million quid. People can say that's mental. But it's not. It's not. For me, that is definitely his asking price. Definitely his asking price. You know, that's that. I would say that would be a fair offer. I don't know if anyone's going to offer that, to be honest. Serie A clubs we know can't afford that at all. I don't know if a Premier League team is suddenly going to put that money on the table. I don't think 55, 60 million pounds. I don't see how that's up for debate. No one. I don't think anyone's paying it. I don't think anyone would pay that. Obviously, Saudi would pay that, but I don't think anyone's paying that. I mean, Al Hilal will beat Pachuca. Al Hilal will beat Pachuca. I mean, Salzburg aren't going to beat Real Madrid, but I think it's pretty certain Al Hilal will beat Pachuca, chap. Yeah, but again, I'm not sure if they would replace Isak with Nicholas Jackson. I don't think they'd do that. Bro, that's the market. That's the market. You can laugh. You can laugh if you wish, but that is the market. You know, in my opinion, that is not a ridiculous valuation, and Chelsea see that as good as well as value for money. Chelsea see that as value for money as well. So, yeah, I still think it's very, very, very unlikely that Nicholas Jackson leaves this summer for two reasons. One, because I don't think he wants to. And secondly, because no one is going to pay potentially what Chelsea are looking for. That's the reality, guys. That's the reality. That is absolutely the reality. Every league has their own price scale. The PL is the only league where you can get over for your players. Anywhere outside of England will be Look, everybody's got their price. But in terms of what's been reported, untouchables at Chelsea, I think Reece James, Caicedo, and Cole Palmer. And I think you can probably chuck Enzo Fernandez in there as well. Yes, bro. But bro, then we have to live in the real world. We have to live in the real world, unfortunately. And yeah, Cucurella probably can move himself into that category now as well. I think they'll want more, but again, they might accept 50 mil if Jackson wanted out, but there's no indication whatsoever that Jackson wants out, chat. No indication whatsoever that he wants out. Yeah, I think in all competitions, club and country this season, yes. He got 2 assists last night, and the Club World Cup stats, they are counting for this season rather than going for next season. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, bro, it does. Unfortunately, it does, which is mad. I mean, it's a real shame that we have to say this, but it does seem that way. It does seem that way. Yeah, Prem Talk, I absolutely agree, bro. I absolutely agree. That is going to be the situation. Unless Nico wants to leave and he tries to force a move, for me, there's no way that there's no way. Absolutely no way, chat. No way at all. No way whatsoever. It is what it is. It is what it is, chat. And we can forget this. We can forget this Ekitike thing as well. No one is paying 100 million euros for Ekitike. Look, if someone bid 150 million or 170 million or whatever for Caicedo, they probably would accept it. I think Maresca needs a freer form of football. Palmer gets frustrated. Clearly, Jackson too. Possibly. Well, there's also that trail of thought as well, Grey Man, and you're kind of spot on there as well. Nah, bro. Basically, like whenever I go anywhere or my dad goes anywhere, we always get a football shirt. Well, he doesn't wear them, but like I'll always get a football shirt from somewhere I go. Or if he goes somewhere, he'll get one for me. So yeah, he went to Bologna the other day, so we got the Bologna shirt on. It's really not that. It's really not that exciting a story, chat. But that is why. Basically, if I go somewhere, then I get a shirt from that place. And that's literally it. Very, very boring, chat. Very, very boring. But yeah, it is what it is. Nah, no Baggio on the back. This is this season coming Bologna shirt. It's got a nice little Coppa Italia detailing in the label. But yeah, that's literally the only reason for the Bologna kit. Decent shirt, to be fair. Anyway, let's get back to it. Oh no, no, we're not talking UK. We're not talking UK. We're strictly talking we're strictly talking abroad. Strictly abroad. Yeah, look, Felix is done at Chelsea. He's finished. He's absolutely finished. So we'll wait and see what happens. We'll wait and see what happens. I mean, Arsenal have signed and Arsenal have agreed a fee for Norgard from Brentford. He'll be the Thomas Partey replacement. So we'll see. We'll see. What else have we got going on here? Bro, we're not talking about Felix. Oh yeah, he would be, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, you could, but I'll leave this one blank. I mean, if I go to the shop myself, then yeah, possibly I will. Possibly I will. Bro, I could do that, but unfortunately, might come as a surprise, chap. I won't be able to fork up the 50 million required for the front of shirt sponsor. I won't be paying 50 M's to have Blue Brother on the front of the Chelsea shirt because, funnily enough, I haven't got 50 M's. If I did, I probably would still be sitting there doing this. But if I did have 50 M's, what if Felix do it, man? Fuck all. But this is the thing with with these Felix apologists, is that it's always the club's fault. You know, it's never Felix's fault. It's always, oh, the club was in the mud. Oh, he didn't get the opportunities. The fact of the matter is, when he had the opportunities, he was shite. He scored 10 goals, but didn't contribute and didn't contribute very much. So yeah, there we go. So it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear, chat, that Italian clubs think Jackson's worth about 40 million. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen at all. That 100% isn't happening. It's not happening. So yeah, that's where we are on that one. Chat, we're just shy of 200 in the building. We are 120 likes. Let's get this up to 150 likes, chat. Keep smashing the like button. Run it up. And subscribe as well if you are new around here. Road to 20k. Every new subscriber really helps. So please keep smashing the subscribe button and please keep smashing the like button. It really helps me out more than you can imagine, chat. More than you can imagine. So please do smash up the likes. It would be greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. He isn't bad, but isn't as good as he thinks he is. Yeah, bro, I was saying this earlier on the show. Yeah, I think there's a good chance we start seeing a lot more transfer activity once we hit, what is it? Once we hit the 1st of July. I expect we'll see a lot more, chat. I'll expect we'll see a lot more. I expect we'll see a lot more. A lot more once the new accounting year starts. But anyway, let's move away from Nicholas Jackson. Let's direct our attentions, chat, to the Club World Cup, because suddenly after all the disappointment and the fuming and being pissed off about the other night, things have taken a positive turn. Things are taking a positive turn, chat. Look at our bracket. Let's have a look at the bracket for the Club World Cup. Let's have a look at the bracket. Now, again, chat, can we see that all right on screen? Yeah, we can. Now, just to confirm here, by the way, this is presuming that results go as expected tonight. This is presuming that's the case. Again, we're not sure what's going to happen with Man City, Juventus. We're not going to sure what's going to happen Real Madrid against Salzburg, Pachuca against Al Hilal. But essentially, this is what we could be looking at if everything goes to plan. The first 4 fixtures, chat, so the top 2 on either side, they are locked in. Those top 2 on either side are locked in. It will be Chelsea or Benfica versus Palmeiras or Botafogo. And then it'll be PSG against Inter Miami, Flamengo versus Bayern. And then those bottom 4, we don't know for certain what the exact order for those ties is going to be. We don't know for certain. But it's looking very... It's looking interesting, chat. I don't know. I don't know the answer for sure. But given that he's not actually a Chelsea player yet, because we haven't loaned him back to Palmeiras, he is officially joining Chelsea after the Club World Cup. So I would imagine that if Palmeiras get past Botafogo, and that might be difficult because Botafogo are better than Palmeiras. But if Palmeiras were to advance, I don't think there's anything stopping. I don't think there's anything stopping Esteban playing against us, chat. I don't think there's anything stopping that. I don't think there's anything stopping that. So kind of ignore the bottom half of the draw, chat. This top half is locked in. The bottom half is not locked in. But let's just allow ourselves to get a little bit carried away for a moment. Let's presume we beat Benfica. You're then going to play Palmeiras or Botafogo. You would think we have a decent chance of beating one of those teams. Then, if everything goes to plan, you're probably looking at a Juventus Inter Milan quarter-final. So you're probably looking at Chelsea against Juve or Inter in a semi-final, potentially. There is also a possibility that Juve could become City instead. That is also true. And look, by the way, I absolutely agree, Jay. Benfica are no mugs. They are a solid side. They are a decent side. Yeah, absolutely. They are no mugs. They are no mugs whatsoever, chat. No mugs whatsoever. And that'll be a tough game. It's a better game. It's a better game. It's a better game for us than Bayern Munich would have been. And I think it gives us more chances. Enzo Fernandez's first game against Benfica since leaving. I mean, look, Inter will be tough. I mean, look, let's wait and see. We're going to find out tonight and tomorrow night what the makeup of these fixtures here is going to be. We will find out. We will find out, chat, what it's going to be. We will find out. We will be there. We will be there, chat. We will be there. By the way, guys, 128 likes, still 190 in the building. Keep smashing the like button, chat. Run this up to 150. Run this up to 150. Let's get it going and keep subscribing if you're new. Nice scenarios. PSG could lose to Bayern and either City or Juve in the final. We need some luck. Yeah, bro, tournament football, you have to have some luck. Yeah, you've got to play well, but you also absolutely have to have some luck, chat. You have to. Luck is part of it. No team wins any competition without having some luck along the way. Without having some luck along the way. No team achieves anything without having a little bit of luck along the way, chat. That's what it is. You have to have some. You have to have some. Yeah, we have had some. We have had some. We have had some. So yeah, I mean, look, the Club World Cup is suddenly. I don't want to get carried away, chat. I don't want to get too carried away. But the Club World Cup is suddenly. It's opened up a little bit. It's opened up a little bit, chat. It's opened up a bit, and I have to say, it's looking. It is looking quite exciting. It's looking quite exciting. There's a big opportunity for us to at least make the semi-finals. At least make the semi-finals, chat. There is a big opportunity. A big opportunity. Chelsea versus Benfica in the last 16. This is a big chance, chat. Big chance. But yeah, look, I felt, yeah, I mean, look, I don't think Ter Stegen is gonna happen at all. But it's funny how things work out in football. It is funny how things work out in football. It really is. I said it's kickoff in the round of 16. Hopefully the temperatures get better. Yeah, I mean, it's been fucking hot. Yeah. Benfica is going to be a dogfight, decisive game to see if Maresca, the SDs, and the owners are serious and compete against UCL sides. Yeah, look, Benfica's no easy game, by the way, chat. Look, it's an easier game in theory than Bayern Munich. Absolutely. Absolutely an easier game in theory than Munich, but it's still going to be tricky, chat. It is still going to be tricky. Do you think we get a new keeper this window? I really don't know. I really don't know. It's so hard to tell, chat. It really is tough to tell whether we're going to get a new goalkeeper or not. I would say right now, I personally don't think so. Right now, I don't think so. Yeah, absolutely, we need to up our game, 100%. Look, we weren't great for the first half, and we got 2 goals in stoppage time in the first half, and that killed the game off, and we managed it second half, and then we scored again in stoppage time right at the end of the game. It was an okay performance, exactly the sort of thing you'd expect from a team against that level of opposition. Of course they will. Of course they will. Yeah, potentially. It will be done. I think it'll be done in the next 7 to 10 days. I think that this Gittens thing will be done. I don't think Petrovic is. Well, Petrovic will have to rejoin the squad after the Club World Cup. Sure, but I don't see him featuring in either of those games against Bayer Leverkusen or AC Milan. I don't see him featuring in any of those games. So yeah, it is going to be an interesting one. It's absolutely going to be an interesting one, chat. I'm not too sure what to expect on the goalkeeper front there. Not really too sure what to expect on the goalkeeper front, but I don't know. It could be an interesting one, chat. It could absolutely be an interesting one. Yeah, we do. I mean, hopefully Mohamed Kudus comes in. Maybe Esteban might provide some backup there. I don't really know. But yeah, we are needing some decent level backup for sure. We are needing some decent level backup, chat. No, there's no denying that. There's no denying that whatsoever. No denying it. Decent level backup is required. Well, they were considering making a move. I mean, I'm not sure whether inquiries have been made or not. I really don't know. I'm really unsure whether that's going to be the case or not. But we'll wait and see. We will wait and see, chat. But yeah, it has been quite quiet on the transfer front today. But I think it's just slowly building up, people. It is slowly building up. And that's what we like. That's what we like. It's kind of feels like it's simmering at the moment, and then we're just waiting for it to kick into action. We're just waiting for it to kick into action. Nah, bro, I think people need to chill out on the Santos thing. You know, I think people need to chill out on the Santos thing, chat. Let me just bring up what Maresca said about Santos. Let me find it. Where is it? Oh, here we go. So let's bring this up. So Maresca on Sanchez. He's working well, but he needs to understand how we play. It's the same for all of the new ones. It's important for them to continue in the way they are working to get opportunities. Now, I think that's pretty fair. You know, why are people up in arms that Andre Santos is not starting every week when he's been with the group for 2 weeks? He's been with the group for 2 weeks. It's almost like a 21-year-old needs a little bit more than 2 weeks before he can start playing on a regular basis for the team. I mean, who would have thought that, chat? Who would have thought that? Quite funny, really, that, isn't it? Quite funny. You know, he's going to need time. Yes, it's frustrating not seeing him feature in the first 2 games and then just get 25 minutes in this game last night. But ultimately, you've got to realise where he's coming from. He's 21 years of age. He's not played with this team before. He's been with this squad for 2 weeks. And it's going to take him a little bit of time. Now, is he going to start? He will start some games ahead of Enzo, ahead of Lavia, ahead of Caicedo, or whatever. He will start some games. But right now, when he gets those opportunities, he needs to make the most of those opportunities. When he gets given them, to move himself up the pecking order. But I don't think we need to be concerned, chat, about the Andre Santos situation. I don't think we need to be concerned in any way, shape or form about the Andre Santos situation. We just don't. We just simply don't. This is a young kid. He's got loads of potential, needs to find his feet, will be given opportunities. Santos will get opportunities, chat. He will get those opportunities. So we have to wait and see. We've got to wait and see what the situation is, but he will absolutely be given those opportunities to play, and then he just has to take advantage of them. But to expect after 2 weeks of Santos to be starting games and whatnot is nonsense. Yeah, bro, we exactly patience required. Yeah, bro, I tell you what, I can already see it now. Watch when Esteval don't start the first 2 or 3 Premier League games and he maybe gets 10, 15 minutes. There's going to be the same level of predictable meltdown. The same level of predictable meltdown when Esteval will not start the first few games in the league and won't play very much. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. We should have seen him at half time. I agree with you on that one, and I think that's a fair point. We should have seen him for the entire second half. I agree. I absolutely agree on that. I absolutely agree on that. Where's that been confirmed? Who's where's that been said? But it's not a surprise to hear that. It's not a surprise to hear that at all. Definitely not a surprise to hear that. Yeah, bro, they absolutely will. They absolutely will. They'll be like, well, why isn't Quenda playing? Why is Quenda being left out of the squad every week? Yeah, he's not joining till 2026. People will just have a moan about anything. Bro, what I would say is that unfortunately, it's not just a Chelsea thing. Well, certainly Premier League wise, it's a lot of home support, but English support in general compared to Europe, South America, Africa, wherever it might be, is shit. It just is. It just is. And you know, they just do it better than us. It really is that simple. They just do it better than us, chat. And look, things are being done. You know, you do try your best to improve atmospheres at games and stuff. But yeah, you know, it takes a collective effort. It takes a collective effort. But yeah, they bring the flares, the drums. They're there hours and hours before kickoff. You know. Yeah, and look, that game obviously means way more to Tunis than it does to Chelsea. Of course it does. Of course it means way more to Tunis than it does to Chelsea. I fully hear that. Of course it means more. There's no denying that whatsoever. It definitely means more. Definitely means more, chat. By the way, chat, we're 10 likes away from 150. Keep smashing that like button, and please keep subscribing if you are new round here. road to 20k. But let's get this to 150 likes. 10 more likes, still over 160 in the building. Run it up, chat, run it up. I mean, yeah, there's probably also a fair point there as well. Soon you'll hear that Santos refuses to sit on the bench, the PR nonsense, and is off to buy him for 60 mil. Yeah, you'll start getting some sort of rumours along that one. Absolutely, I hear you, brother. I hear you on that. Yeah, you can expect that at some point soon. 100% you can. Let's see what else we've got. Let's have a look, chat. I don't know. There might be. I'm not sure. But anyway, just in regards quickly to Nick Voltmade, marker in Spain. Real Madrid like Nick Voltmade. They love the way he moves, his goal scoring ability, his agility, his height, and his experience for such a young player. However, there's no decision yet on making a move for him. No decision yet on making a move for him, chat. Interesting. Chelsea need to be all over this. They actually do, chat. They need to be all over it. They do need to be on this. I really think they need to be on it, chat. And it's very much, I agree, Morning Zombie. It is a very Xabi Alonso-esque signing. Very Xabi Alonso-esque signing. And it would be a great option for Real Madrid to have. Something totally different to what they've already got with those existing attacking options. Something totally different. Something totally different. Yeah, we did. We saw George and Andre Santos. It was good. It was good to see him. It was good to see them. No denying that, chat. It was good to see them. Football. Never say never. Never say never. This is football. This is possible. It'll just be rotation. It'll just be rotation. There's so many games next season. There's more than enough minutes to go round. Both of those will get ample opportunity to play. They absolutely will. They absolutely will, chat. They'll both get ample opportunity to play. 100% they will. Ample opportunity to play. But news on Vince. So let's have a look. Yeah, bro, there'll be ones that weren't sure about him, and then they see links to Real Madrid. Oh, yeah, that's got to be the guy. That's got to be the guy. Let's have a look at this, what this might be. Bear with me, chat. Oh, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen this as Ter Stegen stuff, if that's what it is. I've seen that Ter Stegen stuff already, bro. I wouldn't be against it. Yeah, there'll absolutely be people that think, oh yeah, if we get Voltmade, that's not great. There will absolutely 100% be people doing it. Of course there will. You know, absolutely there will be. No, I think actually, look, Achimpong could well go on loan this season potentially, but look, he was brilliant last night and showed what he's about. Really strong ball carrier. In terms of like actual, look, if you're talking out and out right backs overlapping, I think Gusto probably is better. But if you're talking about a right back in an Enzo Maresca system, the ability to bring the ball forward, the ability to come into midfield, Achimpong is a better right back and a better fit for the Enzo Maresca system than Gusto is. That's just facts, chat. That's just facts. You know, he absolutely is better in that regard. Absolutely. The stadiums in the US look good. Does that mean Burnley can build a similar size one potentially? Well, look, you know, the stadium stuff's gone very quiet. Earl's Court is the obvious solution. Let's wait and see what happens when we get updates. Ekitike, they still want 100 million euros, and Mike Mignan is expected to stay at AC Milan as things stand. So yeah, that's a brief update on those two, chat. A brief update on those two. Let's have a look. Anything else is taking place? Yeah, there doesn't seem to be too much else going on. That round of 16 tie, chat, against Benfica takes place Saturday night. No, bro, I think we'll get a left back. Yep. Yeah, Delap looks very promising. You know, I told you a lot about Delap. That he's going to be decent. I told you lot. Yes, of course, we need to see it in the Prem and whatnot, but the early signs are very promising. Yeah, like Hato, would literally fit the mold perfectly for what we're looking for. Would fit the mold perfectly for what we're looking for, chap. Would be absolutely great for us to get him. It would be great for us to get him. So yeah, we got to hope that we can just get the job done. We've got to hope we can get the job done. I hope that's not the case. We need a left back. We need a proper left back, and Jarell Hato ticks those boxes. Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the stupid stuff. I don't know why they put those things out there, you know, putting out promises they know full well they can't keep. They wanted most of the squad in place for the Club World Cup, and then they wanted pretty much all business done by the end of June. That just isn't happening. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I do think that's pretty fair, to be honest. I really do. No sponsor update yet. No. We haven't had one of those yet. I mean, Hato arriving shouldn't affect Josh because it's the opposite side of the pitch. So it shouldn't affect Josh. I mean, it shouldn't affect him. But yeah, look, we got Kepa the first outgoing. Outgoings will accelerate, I think, once we get, you know, a few more days. Once we get a few more days in, I think outgoings will accelerate. For sure. Yeah. No, bro, it absolutely was. It was absolutely a no-brainer. Absolutely a no-brainer. You know, as particularly for that price as well. Particularly for that price. I mean, look, there's two difficult games, but in theory, yes, you know, we should beat Benfica and we should beat Botafogo. So yeah, in theory, look, I think we get a versatile forward. I would still, I stand by this chat. I would still be very, very surprised if Nicholas Jackson leaves this summer. I would still be very surprised. I have to be honest, chat. I would still be very surprised if that were to be the case. I really would be. Yeah, but the only reason Gusto covers is because we haven't got anyone. So yes, a natural left back is 100% going to be better than a right back playing out of position. It's 100% going to be better. Absolutely. But anyway, chat, we're going to round this one out here. Big love to everyone for why are we not selling players like, well, but it's easier said than done with certain players like that. Now, Bayern made loads of changes to their team. Benfica will be tough, though. I mean, I would prefer Kudos, yes. I would prefer Kudos. Anyway, guys, big love for tuning in. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Appreciate the support as always. Please smash the likes on the way out. Please subscribe if you're new around here as well. Smash up the likes. Subscribe on your way out. Let's see what the rest of the day has got in store for us. I'll be back again tomorrow with all the latest Chelsea news. So make sure you stay tuned then. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing. Enjoy the Club World Cup tonight if you're watching. Let's see what news we get. Catch you lot tomorrow. Smash the like, subscribe, up the Chelsea, and we're out. Love.